Hello. Today we're going to look at this piece of limestone. This is a piece of Wenlock limestone collected from Wenlock Edge in the Midlands of the United Kingdom. It's Silurian in age and around 420 million years old. The Wenlock limestone was deposited in shallow tropical seas that covered the United Kingdom around this time. We know the seas were shallow and tropical because among the fossils in this rock are corals, and corals require shallow waters for light and warm conditions to build their shells. There's lots of other fossil organisms in this rock. Some of them are still alive today, others are sadly extinct. How many different kinds of fossils can you see? How many can you recognize? You might notice the masses of spongy-looking brown material, such as at the top right here. That's actually the coral, rather than sponges. You've probably noticed things that look a little bit like clams as well, or cockles as we call them in the UK. And these are in fact clams and cockles. They're a group of organisms known as bivalves, which is a type of mollusk related to slugs and snails and octopuses and squids. But some of those cockle-shaped creatures are brachiopods, and brachiopods are a very different organism altogether and completely unrelated to mollusks. There's a nice coral. You can see the little polygonal coral polyp holes. Can you see some lacy structures? Those are Bryozoans. They're a different kind of colonial organism. I particularly like these little screw-shaped objects. They're called tentaculates. We don't really know what they are. They don't have any modern counterparts, but they left these wonderful little screw-shaped shells. Can you spot the little trilobite poking out there? Can you see the little brown branching shapes with holes in? Those are a different kind of bryozoan. There was obviously lots of things living on the seabed at this time. Just like modern tropical coral environments. Those circular things that look a little bit like polo mints are crinoid ossicles. A crinoid is an organism related to starfish and sea urchins. It looks like a flower, but it's actually an animal. Kind of like a starfish on a stalk attached to the seabed. The most prized organisms from the Wenlock limestone are definitely the trilobites. The trilobite flexicalimini was so abundant at one point that people used to call it the Dudley locust or the Dudley bug, and would collect them to make jewellery from them. Sadly, most of those fossils have now been collected. But there's still plenty of things to find. There's another piece of trilobite, part of a head shield called a kephalon. Lots of bryozoans, stick bryozoans and fenestrate bryozoans. And in between them is the carbonate mud that rained out of the water in those warm, shallow tropical seas. It's stained yellow because it contains limonite, an iron oxyhydroxide mineral, and that tells us we weren't too far from shore. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the Wenlock limestone. I'll be doing tours of other rocks in future. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, and until next time, goodbye.